Zixara had worked in the Galactic medical station for over 12 standard cycles, treating patients from hundreds of different species. Her crystalline blue skin shimmered under the medical bay's soft lighting as she reviewed the incoming patient files on her holographic display. The Veltari were known throughout the galaxy for their exceptional healing abilities and precise medical knowledge, making them the most sought-after nurses and doctors in civilized space. The emergency alarm chimed softly, indicating a priority patient was arriving. Zixara's forearms moved gracefully as she prepared the medical suite, checking the atmospheric controls and ensuring all scanning equipment was calibrated. According to the preliminary report, the patient was from a recently discovered species called humans, who had just joined the Galactic Federation 3 months ago. The transport pod docked with a gentle hiss, and Zixara watched as 2 Federation security officers carefully carried in an unconscious bipedal creature on a hover stretcher. The human appeared to be male based on the preliminary biological data, with strange hair covering only the top of his head and peculiar pale skin that seemed almost translucent compared to other species she had treated. Patient designation: Marcus Chen. Human, age 28 standard years, reported Officer Kreldan, his insectoid features clicking as he spoke. Found unconscious in the cargo bay of Transport Vessel Horizon. Initial scans show unusual internal activity, but our equipment couldn't identify the specific condition. Zixara nodded, her large violet eyes studying the human's still form. She had read about humans in the medical databases. Apparently they were a remarkably resilient species from a high-gravity world called Earth, but their medical data was still largely incomplete. This would be her first time treating one of their kind. As the security officers left, Zixara began her standard examination procedures. She gently placed her primary scanning device over the human's chest, expecting to see the typical organ layout and vital signs. What appeared on her screen made her freeze in complete shock. The readings couldn't be right. She ran the scan 3 more times, each result identical to the last. According to her equipment, this human's body was performing biological functions that should have been absolutely impossible. Her medical training had taught her about the limits of organic life, the boundaries that no known species could cross. Yet here was living proof that everything she thought she knew was wrong. Marcus Chen's breathing was shallow but steady, his heart rate surprisingly strong for someone who had been unconscious for hours. But it wasn't his vital signs that stunned her. It was what his body was doing on a cellular level. The scanning results showed biological processes that defied every law of medicine she had learned. Zixara's hands trembled slightly as she activated the deep tissue scanner, hoping for a different result. The more detailed readings only confirmed her initial shock. This human wasn't just alive despite his condition, he was thriving. His body was actively performing biological functions that most species required advanced technology to achieve. She quickly accessed the Galactic medical database, searching for any similar cases among the thousands of documented species. Page after page of medical data flashed before her eyes, but nothing even came close to what she was witnessing. The Veltari had treated silicon-based life forms, energy beings, and even sentient gas clouds, but never had she encountered anything like this. The human stirred slightly, his eyelids fluttering as consciousness began to return. Zixara stepped back, her medical scanner still in hand, unsure of how to proceed. Everything in her training told her that what she was seeing was impossible. Yet the evidence was undeniable. Marcus Chen's eyes opened slowly, revealing strange blue irises that seemed to reflect light in an unusual way. He looked around the medical bay with confusion, trying to focus on Zixara's tall crystalline form. "Where am I?" he asked weakly, his voice carrying a roughness that indicated dehydration. "You are in the medical bay of Galactic Station Prometheus," Zixara replied, her translator automatically converting her melodic Veltari speech into standard Galactic. "I am Nurse Zixara. You were found unconscious and brought here for treatment." Marcus attempted to sit up, but Zixara gently pressed him back down with one of her 4 hands. "Please remain still. I need to complete my examination. Your condition is quite unique." "Condition? I feel fine, just a little dizzy," Marcus said, though his body language suggested he was experiencing more discomfort than he admitted. Zixara stared at him in amazement. According to her scans, he should have been in excruciating pain, possibly even dying from the biological processes occurring within his body. Yet here he was, claiming to feel fine aside from minor dizziness. Either her equipment was malfunctioning, or humans possessed capabilities that would revolutionize medicine throughout the galaxy. She needed to contact Dr. Velmoth immediately. If her readings were accurate, this discovery would change everything they thought they knew about the limits of biological life. The human lying before her wasn't just another patient. He might be the key to unlocking medical breakthroughs that could save countless lives across the galaxy. Dr. Velmoth arrived within minutes of Zixara's urgent communication, his massive Thurian frame filling the doorway as he entered the medical bay. His 6 eyes immediately focused on the human patient, while his trunk-like appendages gestured for Zixara to brief him on the situation. "Show me the scans," Dr. Velmoth rumbled, his deep voice causing the medical equipment to vibrate slightly. As the station's chief medical officer, he had seen nearly every biological anomaly possible in his 40 years of service. Zixara transmitted the scan results directly to his neural interface, watching as his expression shifted from mild curiosity to complete bewilderment. His 6 eyes blinked in sequence as he processed the data, a sure sign that he was experiencing the same shock she had felt. "This cannot be accurate," Dr. Velmoth stated firmly. "Run a full diagnostic on all scanning equipment immediately." While Zixara began the equipment checks, Dr. Velmoth approached Marcus Chen directly. The human watched the enormous alien doctor with fascination rather than fear, which surprised both medical professionals. Most species showed at least some intimidation when first encountering a Thurian. "Human Marcus Chen, I am Dr. Velmoth. I need to ask you some questions about your recent activities and physical condition," the doctor said, his translator making his deep rumbles sound more gentle in standard Galactic. "Sure, Doc, though I'm not sure what all the fuss is about. I just feel a bit tired and thirsty," Marcus replied, attempting to sit up again. Dr. Velmoth's trunk gently but firmly pressed the human back down. "Please describe any pain, discomfort, or unusual sensations you may be experiencing, no matter how minor they seem." Marcus thought for a moment. "Well, my muscles feel a bit sore, like I've been working out, and I have this strange warm feeling in my chest and stomach, kind of like when you drink hot soup on a cold day. Oh, and I'm really hungry." The doctor's 6 eyes widened in disbelief. According to the scans, Marcus should have been screaming in agony from the biological processes occurring within his body. The fact that he described the sensations as merely warm and sore was medically impossible. "Equipment diagnostic complete," Zixara announced. "All scanners are functioning perfectly. I also ran cross-verification tests with 3 different scanning systems. The results are identical." Dr. Velmoth's massive head turned back to the scan results displayed on the wall monitor. The readings showed that Marcus Chen's body was currently engaged in rapid cellular regeneration at a rate that would typically cause severe pain and system shock in any known species. His organs were working at approximately 150% of normal capacity, yet his vital signs remained stable. More astounding was what the cellular analysis revealed. Marcus's body was actively repairing damage at the molecular level, while simultaneously strengthening existing tissue. The process was so efficient that it appeared his body was actually improving itself, rather than simply healing. "Human Chen, have you been exposed to any unusual radiation, chemicals, or medical treatments recently?" Dr. Velmoth asked, struggling to maintain his professional composure. "Not that I know of. I've been working on cargo ships for the past few months since Earth joined the Federation. Pretty routine stuff. Loading, unloading, basic maintenance. Nothing dangerous," Marcus answered honestly. Zixara accessed Marcus's travel records through the Federation database. Dr. Velmoth, according to his work history, Human Chen has been exposed to 17 different atmospheric compositions, various levels of cosmic radiation, and multiple gravitational fields over the past 3 months. His assignments took him to 7 different worlds and 12 space stations. That level of environmental variation would require extensive medical treatment for most species, Dr. Velmoth muttered, reviewing the data. Yet his body appears to have not only adapted, but thrived under these conditions. Marcus looked between the 2 alien medical professionals with growing curiosity. "Is something wrong?" You both seem pretty concerned about something. Dr. Velmoth hesitated before responding. In his extensive career, he had never encountered a situation quite like this. The human's casual attitude toward what should have been extraordinary medical circumstances suggested that this might be normal for his species. Human Chen, what I'm about to tell you may seem unusual. Your body is currently performing biological functions that we consider medically impossible. You are healing and regenerating tissue at an accelerated rate, while simultaneously adapting to environmental stresses that would hospitalize most galactic species. Marcus blinked slowly, processing this information. So you're saying I'm healing really fast? That's not normal? Not normal? Zixara interjected, her voice rising in pitch with excitement. Human Chen, your body is rewriting the fundamental laws of biology as we understand them. You should be in excruciating pain from the cellular activity alone. Huh, Marcus said thoughtfully. My grandmother always said our family healed fast. She used to joke that we had Viking blood and could survive anything. I just thought everyone was like that. Dr. Velmoth and Zixara exchanged glances. If this was normal for humans, it would explain how such a young species had survived on a high-gravity world, with dangerous environmental conditions. But it also meant that human biology was far more advanced than anyone in the Galactic Federation had realized. We need to contact the Galactic Medical Council immediately, Dr. Velmoth decided. This discovery could revolutionize medicine throughout known space. Within hours, the medical bay had transformed into a hub of scientific activity. Representatives from the Galactic Medical Council arrived via emergency transport, including the renowned Dr. Schilek from the Meridian Institute and Professor Quintal, the galaxy's leading expert on cellular biology. Marcus Chen found himself at the center of unprecedented attention as teams of alien scientists set up advanced scanning equipment around his medical bed. Despite the commotion, he remained remarkably calm, even asking if anyone had brought food since he was becoming increasingly hungry. The human's casual attitude toward this situation is almost as fascinating as his biology, observed Dr. Schilek. Her serpentine form coiled around a holographic display, showing Marcus's cellular activity in real time. Professor Quintal, whose crystalline body refracted the medical bay's lights into rainbow patterns, was simultaneously running 17 different biological analyses. Nurse Zixara, your initial scans were completely accurate. This human's regenerative capabilities exceed anything in our medical databases. Zixara felt a surge of professional pride mixed with scientific excitement. She had been the first to discover what might be the most significant medical breakthrough in galactic history. Her forearms worked efficiently as she coordinated between the various research teams, ensuring Marcus remained comfortable while the tests continued. Dr. Velmoth, we're ready to begin the comprehensive analysis, announced Dr. Schilek. Human Chen, we need to conduct some additional tests to understand your biological processes. Nothing invasive, but we do need to monitor your body's responses to various stimuli. Marcus nodded agreeably. Sure thing. But could someone maybe get me a sandwich? This healing stuff is making me really hungry. The request prompted a flurry of activity as the research team realized they had overlooked a critical aspect of human biology. If Marcus's accelerated healing required additional energy, his nutritional needs might provide important clues about how the process worked. Zixara quickly accessed the Federation's dietary database for humans and ordered appropriate food from the station's replicators. As she worked, she noticed something remarkable in Marcus's latest scans. His hunger wasn't just psychological. His body was actively converting stored energy reserves to fuel the regenerative processes, but doing so with incredible efficiency. Professor Quintal, look at these metabolic readings, Zixara called out, highlighting specific data on her display. His body is maintaining perfect nutritional balance while accelerating cellular repair. The energy conversion rate is beyond anything we've documented. The crystalline professor's form brightened as he absorbed the new data. Extraordinary. Most species experience severe metabolic stress during accelerated healing. This human's body appears to have evolved specifically for rapid adaptation and recovery. Dr. Schilek slithered closer to Marcus's bed, her sensitive heat-detecting organs picking up subtle changes in his body temperature. Human Chen, your people's homeworld, Earth. What are the environmental conditions like? Marcus thought while chewing on the sandwich that had arrived moments earlier. Pretty varied, actually. We've got deserts, frozen tundra, tropical jungles, mountains, oceans. The weather can change dramatically depending on where you are and what season it is. Oh, and we've got some pretty nasty storms and natural disasters. The research team exchanged meaningful glances. A world with extreme environmental variation would indeed favor the evolution of highly adaptable organisms. But Marcus's capabilities went far beyond simple adaptation. The gravitational strength of your world? Professor Quintal inquired. I'm not sure of the exact measurements, but I know it's considered high gravity compared to most places I've visited in Federation space. Things feel lighter on other worlds, Marcus replied. Dr. Velmoth was reviewing atmospheric composition data from Earth when he made a startling discovery. Colleagues, examine Earth's atmospheric analysis. The oxygen content is significantly higher than optimal for most galactic species, and the atmospheric pressure is remarkably dense. That explains the robust cardiovascular system, Dr. Schilek observed, but it doesn't account for the regenerative capabilities. Zixara had been quietly analyzing the cumulative data when she noticed a pattern that made her pulse quicken. Dr. Velmoth, I think I understand what we're seeing. Human. Chen's body isn't just healing, it's continuously upgrading itself based on environmental challenges. She directed everyone's attention to a series of comparative scans taken over the past few hours. Look at these cellular structures. They're becoming more efficient with each scan. His body is literally learning and improving its own biological processes in real time. Marcus looked up from his second sandwich with interest. That actually makes sense. Back on Earth, we always said humans were survivors. We can live almost anywhere and adapt to pretty much anything if we have to. Professor Quintal's crystalline form pulsed with excitement. This isn't just adaptation. This is active biological evolution occurring within a single organism's lifetime. The implications for medical treatment across all galactic species are staggering. Dr. Schilek was already making calculations on her personal interface. If we could understand and replicate even a fraction of this human's capabilities, we could revolutionize treatment for degenerative diseases, severe injuries, and even extend lifespans for countless species. As the research team continued their analysis, Zixara found herself looking at Marcus Chen with new appreciation. This seemingly ordinary human from a recently discovered world might hold the key to unlocking biological potential that the galaxy had never imagined possible. Human Chen, she said softly, you may have just changed the course of galactic medicine forever. Marcus grinned, crumbs from his sandwich still visible on his chin. Cool. Does this mean I get free healthcare? News of Marcus Chen's extraordinary biological capabilities spread through the Galactic Medical Council like wildfire. Within 24 hours, the medical bay had been designated a temporary research facility, and scientists from across the galaxy were requesting permission to study the human's remarkable healing abilities. Zixara had been assigned as Marcus's primary care coordinator, a role that had evolved from simple nursing to something resembling diplomatic liaison. She found herself fielding requests from researchers, government officials, and even military representatives who had heard rumors about human biological superiority. Nurse Zixara, we have another priority communication from the Alterian Research Consortium, announced the station's AI system. They're offering substantial funding for extended study of the human subject. Marcus, who was currently performing basic exercises while hooked up to monitoring equipment, overheard the announcement. Subject? I prefer Marcus, thanks. And I'm starting to feel like a zoo animal with all this attention. Dr. Velmoth looked up from his analysis of the latest test results. Human Chen, I understand your discomfort, but you must realize the significance of what we've discovered. Your biological capabilities could save millions of lives across hundreds of species. I get that, Doc, and I'm happy to help. But maybe we could focus on understanding how this works instead of just studying me like a specimen, Marcus suggested while continuing his exercises. Zixara was impressed by Marcus's reasonable attitude despite the overwhelming attention. Most beings would have become stressed or defensive under such scrutiny, but the human seemed to take everything in stride while offering constructive suggestions. Professor Quintal materialized beside them, his crystalline form shimmering with excitement. Human Chen, your suggestion is precisely what we need to discuss. We believe your healing abilities might be replicable in other species through genetic therapy or medical enhancement. Really? How would that work? Marcus asked, genuinely curious about the science behind his own biology. Dr. Schilek slithered into the conversation, her multiple displays showing complex molecular diagrams. Your cells contain unique protein structures that we've never encountered before. These proteins appear to guide and accelerate the healing process while preventing the cellular damage that typically occurs during rapid regeneration. Zixara had been studying the protein analysis extensively. The most remarkable aspect is how these proteins communicate with each other. They seem to create a biological network that coordinates healing throughout your entire body simultaneously. Like a built-in medical system? Marcus asked, pausing his exercises to look at the displayed molecular structures. More advanced than that, Professor Quintal replied. Your body essentially functions as its own medical facility, constantly monitoring, diagnosing, and treating potential problems before they become serious issues. Dr. Velmoth accessed a new set of data that had arrived from Earth's medical databases. Human Chen, we've received additional information about your species from Earth's medical institutions. It appears that while your capabilities are exceptional even among humans, your species as a whole possesses remarkable healing abilities compared to galactic norms. The revelation prompted excited discussion among the research team. If Marcus represented an exceptional example of typical human biology rather than a unique anomaly, the implications were even more staggering. So other humans can do this too? Zixara asked, her violet eyes bright with scientific curiosity. To varying degrees, apparently, Dr. Velmoth confirmed. Earth's medical records show that humans routinely recover from injuries and illnesses that would be fatal to most galactic species. They've even documented cases of humans surviving in environments that should have been immediately lethal. Marcus nodded thoughtfully. That makes sense. We've always been pretty tough. My species has survived ice ages, plagues, natural disasters, wars. We just keep adapting and pushing forward no matter what gets thrown at us. Dr. Schilek was already formulating research protocols. If we could study a larger sample of humans, we might be able to develop treatments that could be adapted for other species. The potential applications are limitless. Hold on, Marcus interjected. Before we start planning to study more of my people, shouldn't we make sure this research is being used for the right purposes? I mean, these healing abilities could probably be weaponized just as easily as they could be used for medicine. The research team fell silent as they considered Marcus's point. In their excitement over the scientific discovery, they hadn't fully considered the ethical and security implications. Zixara was the first to speak. Human Chen raises an important concern. We need to establish protocols to ensure this research is used only for beneficial medical purposes. Professor Quintal's crystalline form dimmed slightly as he processed the ethical considerations. The human demonstrates wisdom beyond his years. We must proceed carefully to protect both the research and the human species from potential exploitation. Dr. Velmoth nodded gravely. I will contact the Galactic Ethics Council immediately. This research must be conducted under the strictest ethical guidelines to prevent misuse. Marcus smiled appreciatively. Thanks, Doc. I want to help people, but I also don't want my species to become targets because of our biology. We're still pretty new to this whole galactic community thing. As the research team began implementing ethical safeguards, Zixara found herself admiring Marcus's combination of scientific curiosity and protective instincts toward his species. The human was proving to be as remarkable in character as he was in biology. Human Chen, she said quietly, your people are fortunate to have someone like you representing them in this discovery. Marcus grinned. Just doing what any human would do, looking out for family and trying to make things better for everyone. 3 weeks after Marcus Chen's arrival at the medical station, the research had progressed beyond anyone's expectations. The Galactic Ethics Council had approved a comprehensive study protocol, and a team of human volunteers from Earth had arrived to participate in the groundbreaking research. Zixara had been promoted to Chief Research Coordinator for the Human Biology Project, a position that filled her with both pride and responsibility. She watched as 12 human volunteers underwent various tests in the expanded research facility, each one displaying the remarkable healing capabilities that had first stunned her and Marcus. The consistency across the human test subjects is remarkable, Professor Quintal observed, his crystalline form reflecting the light from dozens of monitoring devices. Every individual shows accelerated healing, adaptive immunity, and enhanced cellular regeneration. Dr. Sarah Martinez, one of the human volunteers and a physician from Earth, was reviewing the data alongside the alien researchers. From our perspective on Earth, this is just normal human biology. We never realized how unique our healing abilities were until we started interacting with other galactic species. Marcus had become something of a mentor to the other human volunteers, helping them understand the research process and working with the alien scientists to translate human experiences into scientific terms. His easygoing nature and genuine interest in the science had made him popular, with both the research team and the newcomers. Dr. Martinez, could you explain how humans on Earth typically recover from injuries? Zixara asked, her forearms efficiently managing multiple data streams while she spoke. Well, we have standard medical procedures, but we've always known that humans heal faster than our Earth animals. A broken bone that might permanently disable other mammals will heal completely in humans within weeks. We bounce back from illnesses that are fatal to similar-sized species on our world, Dr. Martinez explained. Dr. Velmoth was analyzing comparative data from hundreds of galactic species. What Dr. Martinez describes as normal human recovery would be considered miraculous healing by galactic medical standards. A broken bone that heals completely without intervention would be documented as a medical anomaly for most species we've studied. The research had revealed that human biology operated on principles that challenged fundamental assumptions about organic life. Human cells could repair damage, adapt to new environments, and even improve their own functions in ways that seemed to violate basic biological laws. The most fascinating aspect is the psychological component, Dr. Schilleck noted. Her serpentine form coiled around a holographic display showing brain scans. Human mental resilience appears to actively enhance their physical healing abilities. Marcus looked up from a strength test he was performing. That makes sense. On Earth, we always say that a positive attitude helps you recover faster. Mind over matter and all that. But this goes beyond psychological comfort, Professor Quintal clarified. Your brain chemistry actually triggers enhanced healing responses. Your mental state directly influences your cellular regeneration rates. Dr. Martinez nodded in understanding. We've documented cases on Earth of humans recovering from supposedly terminal illnesses through sheer determination and willpower. The medical community has always struggled to explain how mental attitude could affect physical healing so dramatically. Zixara was compiling data that would revolutionize medical treatment across the galaxy. If we can understand how human mental states enhance healing, we could develop psychological therapies that might help other species achieve similar results. The implications were staggering. Not only did humans possess remarkable physical healing abilities, but they could consciously influence and enhance those abilities through mental discipline and positive thinking. There's something else we've discovered, Dr. Velmoth announced, calling everyone's attention to a new set of scan results. Human healing abilities appeared to improve under stress and adversity. He displayed comparative scans showing how human healing rates actually increased when test subjects were exposed to challenging environments or difficult situations. That definitely sounds like humans, Marcus laughed. We've always performed better when things get tough. It's like adversity brings out the best in us. Dr. Martinez was studying the stress response data with fascination. This explains so much about human history. Our species has faced extinction-level events multiple times, but we've always managed to not just survive but come back stronger. The evolutionary implications are profound, Professor Quintal observed. Your species appears to have evolved specifically to thrive under adverse conditions. Most galactic species develop survival strategies based on avoiding danger, but humans seem to have evolved to become stronger when faced with challenges. Zixara felt a deep admiration for the human test subjects as she watched them undergo increasingly difficult tests with enthusiasm rather than apprehension. Their natural resilience and optimistic attitudes were infectious, inspiring the entire research team to push the boundaries of what they thought possible. Human volunteers, she announced. Your participation in this research is not just advancing medical science, you're demonstrating capabilities that are inspiring hope throughout the galactic medical community. Marcus grinned, speaking for the group. Happy to help, Nurse Zixara. Besides, this is actually pretty fun. We're learning as much about ourselves as you're learning about us. As the research continued, it became clear that humans weren't just medically remarkable. They represented a fundamental shift in understanding what biological life could achieve. Their arrival in the galactic community wasn't just adding another species to the Federation. It was expanding the very definition of what organic life could accomplish. The galaxy was about to discover that humanity's greatest strength wasn't just their remarkable biology, but their unshakable belief that any challenge could be overcome with enough determination and ingenuity. 6 months after the discovery of human healing abilities, the research station had become the most important medical facility in the galaxy. Representatives from every major species had sent delegations to study the breakthrough treatments that were being developed based on human biology. Zixara stood in the main conference hall, addressing an assembly of the galaxy's most prominent medical professionals. Her presentation outlined the revolutionary treatments that had been successfully adapted from human healing principles for use with other species. The protein therapy, derived from human cellular structures, has shown a 73% success rate in treating previously incurable degenerative diseases, she reported, her forearms gracefully manipulating holographic displays showing treatment results from across the galaxy. In the audience, Dr. Velmoth felt immense pride watching his former nurse present findings that would be remembered as a turning point in galactic medicine. The Veltari had always been respected healers, but Zixara's work with human biology had elevated their entire species' reputation to legendary status. Marcus Chen, now serving as the official human liaison for medical research, sat in the front row alongside Dr. Martinez and the other human volunteers who had become permanent research partners. The humans had seamlessly integrated into the galactic medical community, their natural adaptability making them excellent collaborators. The psychological enhancement protocols based on human mental healing techniques have proven effective across 17 different species. Zixara continued, patients who receive both the biological treatments and the psychological training show healing rates that approach human level efficiency. Professor Quintal's crystalline form brightened as he accessed the latest data. The treatments had exceeded even their most optimistic projections. Species that had suffered from genetic disorders for millennia were experiencing complete recoveries. Injuries that had previously required amputation were healing completely. Dr. Schilek raised her serpentine head to address the assembly. The most remarkable development has been the discovery that other species can actually develop enhanced healing abilities through extended exposure to human healing techniques. The process appears to activate dormant genetic potential that exists in most organic life forms. Marcus stood to add his perspective. What we've learned is that humans aren't necessarily unique in having these capabilities. We just never stopped using them. Most galactic species seem to have evolved away from their natural healing abilities in favor of technological solutions. The statement prompted excited discussion throughout the assembly. The idea that most species possessed latent healing abilities that could be reactivated was revolutionary. Human Chen makes an important point, Dr. Velmoth interjected. Our analysis suggests that advanced medical technology, while beneficial, may have caused many species to lose touch with their natural healing capabilities over thousands of generations. Dr. Martinez accessed a holographic display showing comparative evolutionary data. Earth never developed advanced medical technology until recently, so humans had to rely on our natural healing abilities for survival. This forced us to maintain and strengthen these capabilities rather than replacing them with technology. Zixara had spent months analyzing this evolutionary divergence. The implications suggest that the galaxy's approach to medicine may need fundamental revision. Instead of replacing natural healing with technology, we should focus on enhancing and supporting organic healing capabilities. A delegate from the Alterian Research Consortium raised a question that had been discussed extensively in closed sessions. What about the military applications of these discoveries? Enhanced healing abilities would provide significant advantages in combat situations. Marcus's expression grew serious as he addressed the concern. The human volunteers and I have discussed this extensively with the Ethics Council. We're willing to share our biology for medical purposes, but we want strict controls on any military applications. Dr. Velmoth nodded approvingly. The Ethics Council has established protocols ensuring that all research remains focused on healing and life preservation. Any attempts to weaponize these discoveries will result in immediate termination of cooperation from the human volunteers. The assembly murmured appreciation for the ethical safeguards. The humans had consistently demonstrated wisdom in managing their remarkable capabilities, earning respect throughout the galactic community. However, Marcus continued with a slight smile, We are willing to work with Federation Defense Forces to develop enhanced medical support for peacekeeping operations. If we can help save lives during conflicts, that aligns with our goals. Zixara felt a warm surge of admiration for the humans' balanced approach to their responsibilities. They had become not just research subjects but true partners in advancing galactic medicine while maintaining strong ethical principles. The next phase of our research will focus on developing training programs that can help other species reactivate their dormant healing abilities, she announced. Early trials suggest that with proper guidance, most organic species can achieve significant improvements in their natural healing capabilities. Professor Quintal projected new data showing preliminary results from various species attempting to learn human healing techniques. The Veltari have shown particular aptitude for these methods, achieving healing rates 60% above their previous capabilities. The implications were staggering. Rather than creating dependence on human biology, the research was leading toward a galaxy where every species could enhance their own natural healing abilities. As the conference concluded, Zixara reflected on how dramatically her life had changed since that day when she first scanned an unconscious human cargo worker. What had begun as routine medical care had evolved into the most significant medical breakthrough in galactic history. Marcus approached her after the assembly, his characteristic easy smile evident. "Great presentation, Zixara. You've really become the face of this whole research project. I could never have imagined where that first scan would lead us," she replied. "Your species has changed everything we thought we knew about medicine and healing. And you gave us the chance to share it with the galaxy," Marcus responded. "I think this is just the beginning. If we can help every species reach their full healing potential, imagine what the galaxy could accomplish." 2 years had passed since the discovery that would forever change galactic medicine. The research station had evolved into the Galactic Center for Biological Enhancement, with Zixara serving as Director of Human Galactic Medical Integration. Her office overlooked training facilities where beings from hundreds of species learned healing techniques, originally developed by humans. Marcus Chen had accepted a permanent position as Chief Human Medical Advisor, though he insisted on maintaining his down-to-earth approach despite his elevated status. He could often be found working directly with patients, teaching them the mental disciplines that enhanced human healing capabilities. "Director Zixara, we have the final report from the Outer Rim colonies," announced her assistant, a young Thurian named Kolseth who had been inspired to pursue medicine after learning about human healing abilities. Zixara reviewed the data with satisfaction. The healing enhancement programs had been implemented across the galaxy with remarkable success. Species that had relied on artificial medical devices for millennia were rediscovering their natural healing abilities. "The Andromedan crystal beings have achieved complete regeneration of lost limb segments," she noted, scanning through the results. "And the silicon-based Quarians are reporting cellular repair rates that exceed even their original projections." Dr. Velmoth entered her office, his massive frame moving with the careful grace that had made him such an effective physician. Despite his elevation to Galactic Medical Council chairman, he still preferred working directly with patients and research teams. "Zixara, I have remarkable news from Earth," he announced, his 6 eyes bright with excitement. "The humans have established their own medical research facility and are developing healing techniques that surpass even what we've achieved here." The news didn't surprise Zixara. Throughout their collaboration, humans had consistently demonstrated an ability to innovate and improve upon existing knowledge. Their natural creativity combined with their remarkable biology made them ideal medical researchers. "What have they discovered?" she asked, her forearms automatically adjusting holographic displays to accommodate new data. "They've developed what they call empathetic healing, a technique where healthy humans can actually transfer some of their healing capabilities to injured or sick members of other species through direct contact and mental connection," Dr. Velmoth explained. The implications made Zixara's crystalline skin shimmer with excitement. If humans could share their healing abilities directly with other beings, it would revolutionize emergency medicine throughout the galaxy. Marcus appeared in the doorway, having overheard the conversation. "We're calling it the Healing Touch program. Turns out that humans have always been able to help others heal faster through physical contact and emotional support." We just never realized how literal that was until we started working with other species. The early trials show a 40% improvement in healing rates for non-human patients who receive empathetic healing treatment from human volunteers, Dr. Velmoth added. The humans are requesting permission to establish healing centers on major Federation worlds. Zixara felt a deep sense of fulfillment as she considered how far they had all come. What had begun with her shocking discovery of Marcus's unusual condition had led to a complete transformation of galactic medicine. Marcus, your species continues to amaze us, she said warmly. First you showed us the potential of natural healing. Then you helped us rediscover our own capabilities. And now you're offering to share your gifts directly with the galaxy. Marcus shrugged with characteristic humility. It's just what humans do. We take care of each other, and now that includes our galactic neighbors. Besides, we've learned as much from you as you've learned from us. Professor Quintal materialized in the office, his crystalline form pulsing with barely contained excitement. Director Zixara, I bring news from the Meridian Institute. Our research into human emotional healing has revealed that humans can actually strengthen their healing abilities through helping others. What do you mean? Zixara asked, though she suspected she already understood the implications. Human healing capabilities increase when they're used to help other beings, Professor Quintal explained. The more a human helps others heal, the stronger their own healing abilities become. It's a perfect biological feedback loop that rewards altruistic behavior. Dr. Velmoth's trunk gestured approvingly. This explains why humans have been so eager to share their medical knowledge. Their biology literally rewards them for helping others. Marcus laughed, the sound bringing warmth to the high-tech medical facility. That actually explains a lot about human nature. We've always said that helping others makes you feel better, but apparently it actually makes us physically better too. Zixara accessed the long-term data from their research programs and felt amazed by what the numbers revealed. Across the galaxy, healing rates had improved by an average of 300%. Diseases that had plagued civilizations for millennia were being eradicated. Life expectancy for most species had increased dramatically. The Galactic Medical Council has asked me to inform you that your research team will be receiving the highest honors in galactic medicine, Dr. Velmoth announced. The Marcus Chen Award for Medical Innovation will be established to recognize future breakthroughs in biological healing. That's very flattering, but I think it should be called the Galactic Cooperation Award, Marcus suggested. This wasn't just human innovation, it was what we accomplished by working together. As the celebration continued around her, Zixara reflected on the journey that had brought them to this point. A routine medical scan had revealed capabilities that revolutionized medicine for countless species. But more importantly, it had demonstrated the power of different species working together toward common goals. The humans had shown the galaxy that remarkable achievements were possible when beings combined their unique strengths and perspectives. Their healing abilities were impressive, but their willingness to share those gifts with others had transformed the entire galactic community. Marcus, Zixara said as the group prepared to leave for the day, when I first scanned you and saw those impossible readings, I never imagined it would lead to all this. Marcus smiled, the same easy expression he'd worn since the day they first met. The best discoveries usually start with someone being willing to believe that impossible things might actually be possible. Thanks for not giving up when the scans didn't make sense. As they walked through the medical center, passing training rooms where beings from across the galaxy learned to enhance their natural healing abilities, Zixara felt profound gratitude for that moment of shock and confusion that had started everything. Sometimes, the most extraordinary discoveries came from simply being willing to accept that the impossible might just be everyday reality for someone else. And sometimes those discoveries could change the entire galaxy for the better.